YouTubers and I can't breathe in that. So I don't know how Michael Myers can breathe in that. I swear to you, it's like wearing a freaking coffin. It's like wearing actually it's like wearing a mask over your face. I know it's weird. When you put on it, it's hard to breathe in. It's weird. So I mean, I'm like Jesus Christ. I mean, I feel sorry for Michael Myers for wearing that. I love the mask, but hell. And today that's a bit of a cool video today. And today, earlier on, I watched the new Halloween film. Right, okay, this is my review of that film. This is a Totally Flawed review of that film. And what did I think of it? Which I'll come to that bit in a bit, of course. Okay, right, okay, so this is going to be quite a tricky one because I like to explain certain parts of the story. I'm not explaining all of it, but like I said, I finished watching it a few hours ago now. And I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, I suppose in a way no film was perfect, but the film wasn't perfect, but I really enjoyed it. I genuinely, absolutely loved it. Okay, right, it takes place 40 years, and of course they've had none of the other storylines from the sequels, which is a shame really, because I love the sequels. I like the second one, I like the third one, even if that's nothing to do with Michael Myers. I like the fourth one, fifth one, sixth one. Seventh one was good, which is H2O, which I thought, that, to be honest with you, it really should take place after number 6, because number 7, H2O, she kills him. Which would be more kind of appropriate. Why the hell did it just take place after number 6 and so? Anyway, it could actually, but anyway, I think it should. So anyway, it takes place after the first film, and the original one. It should really take place after the second one, because I like number 2. It's a good solid sequel. But anyway, it takes place after the first film, 40 years after the other one. So he's in hospital. He's been, he's been caught. So of course that kind of makes no sense, because in the first one, he runs off. It's kind of strange, because then this one is locked up in this hospital. Anyway, you had these people, these podcasters, right? Who they end up at this hospital with Michael Myers, and of course he's got a new doctor called Ranbir Sartan or so. His name's something like. And there's a bit of a twist who he is. I was like, gee, oh boy, I actually quite liked it. I wasn't expecting it, but it was quite an interesting little twist. But they end up at the hospital, of course. They want to talk to Michael Myers, which is a real stupid idea. And you do see him actually in the film, certain parts of his face, of course. And when they do turn up, there you got these crazy people outside. One of the guy in it, he gets told about something about shoelaces. So he plays around with shoelaces because one crazy person has got something for shoelaces. I don't know. So anyway, that part was quite intense, where he's like, he holds up the mask and stuff like that, and he says, and that scene was quite intense. And then, then you hear the Halloween music, and so it's really good film. I enjoyed it. So yeah, it's got violent moments. The performances are pretty good. I mean, you have the two people in it, the podcasters, and they're pretty interesting characters. And what happens to them later on in the film, I was a bit surprised. I thought, hey, I know. So it's like, the thing about these two characters are right, they're very I suppose they're very pro freaking Michael Myers, because when later on in the film they visit Laurie Strode, is a lot older. Of course, she's a lot more stronger character in this, which is good, which is interesting. She lives in this like house, this place is built with this house, and it's kind of like it's got a lot of security in this house. Of course, you'll find out later on in the film when she hides the family in there and stuff like that. So yeah, at the end somewhere. So anyway, when they meet her, I like the part where the woman says, if you want £3,000, we'll give it to you if you have an interview with us. And of course, and that scene was quite funny. I thought the film hasn't got a lot of humour. I've read that it's got a lot of humour all the way through, and it doesn't. It's got humour in it, but it's not got like a lot all the way through. Like I said, they didn't really need to end all the other films, because they had films where Michael Myers could have still survived without, and in this film it's very strong in it. It's very strong. I mean, I was just like, Jesus Christ, how's he doing that? It's still quite strong in this, but in his 60s too. Jesus Christ, he's very strong. I don't know how old he's actually, 60s, 70s now. But he's very strong. He's like on steroids or something. There's one part in the film where I was like, Jesus Christ, he's quite, There is a part in the trailer where you see the part in the toilet. When that scene was interesting. I really did like that scene with the part in the toilet because it reminds me of H2, that woman and that little girl in that toilet, and Michael Myers comes in and he steals that woman's keys from a bag. And in this, okay, right, later on in the film, the two people, the podcasters, go to the toilet. She goes to the toilet, of course. And of course the guys, you know, they like get separated. And of course Michael Myers comes knocking at, you know, and you see the guy, right? One of the characters, you know, like there's like images online about, you know, where this guy's mouth is all ripped out and stuff like that. You do see that scene? It's quite nasty. And he drops the freaking tooth scenes, and that scene was pretty freaking intense. And that scene was very intense in the scene because I was a bit surprised what happens to the two people in the movie. I'll try not to spoil the film, that's for sure, because you know sometimes you can do sometimes you can do a freaking review of a film and it's just spoil it by accident. You think, oh damn, what have I said? There's an interesting twist in the movie with Dr. Sot, and I was like, gee, because one part of the movie where what's the name? Laurie Strode says that you're the new freaking Lomas, and he's not. Let's just say he's not. He's no Lomas. Because Lomas, you know, Lomas might have had his flaws, but he was, but he knew a lot about freaking Michael Myers, and Donald Pleasance played that role so damn well, and you can't replace that. I mean, you know, he put a heart in that. You know, the character had a lot of heart in him, even if he was flawed at the same time. But he knew a lot about freaking Michael Myers, how evil he was, and he's dangerous, you know. So, but yeah, he's a great character, Lomas was, and this character called Dr. Sot, and he kind of reminded me a bit like Lomas until later on in the film, and so it happens, I won't say, but it's an interesting twist. So yeah, what was I going to say? Of course, Laurie Strode has got like a daughter, and she's got like grandkids now, of course. It's got some brutal scenes in it, a hammer and stuff like that, and it does murder quite a lot of people in this. Actually, I think it murders more people in this than the first one. I think it does, yeah. And the guy who directed it did a good job actually. This film. It definitely has a few nods towards the sequels, of course, certain sequels, and Michael Myers is great in this, of course. It's quite intimidating, this one. And again, I suppose in a way, Michael Myers is always intimidating every Halloween film, apart from Resurrection. Oh boy, it was like that film was so freaking comical, it was ridiculous. Actually, I like the remakes, so they're not perfect, but I still enjoyed those ones, especially the second one. I thought that was way underrated. Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, she's fantastic in this. She's a total badass. She's prepared to freaking go one-on-one with Michael Myers again. Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic in this. I mean, I was just like, wow, great stuff. She does show a lot of balls in this compared to the first one. She literally freaking goes, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go after this guy, go after Michael Myers. What was I gonna say about this film? Solid performance from the cast, and Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic. I will, yeah, they do mention Dr. Lomas in this, and it's nice to hear his voice again in the movie. You do hear his voice on tape, which is cool. Of course, Michael Myers is quite devastating in this film. I mean, he looks freaking cool. I like the fact he doesn't wear the mask, and then you see later on where Harry gets the mask back. It was pretty cool the way they did it. I like that. Seeing where he got the mask back, it was pretty cool. There's a lot to process in this film because I watched it hours and hours ago, and it's easier to freaking watch the film. And then, you know, when you watch the film hours ago, it's like, Jesus Christ, you gotta freaking remember what you watched. Like I said, she's got a granddaughter, she's got a daughter. The death scenes in the film are pretty cool. I did like some of it. The part where the kid is being babysitted by his attractive blonde girl, and that scene was good. I like that part where her boyfriend comes around. He's smoking weed or some stuff. And he keeps getting a bit worried because he keeps saying that something. There's that part of the film where he comes running down. He says something in his bedroom. Someone's in his bedroom. Of course, that scene was cool. That scene was good actually. I like that scene where the film's got some humour in it, but some of the humour is quite funny actually. It's not. over the top humour. I did like the death scenes in it. I love the performance. Jamie Lee Curtis's fantastic, and they get the Doctor in it. It's pretty interesting in it. I thought that was an interesting twist. When you see him escape like earlier on in the film, like, that scene was quite intense because he's on the bus, right, and of course you have this like kid and his, I think it's his dad, must be his dad, and driving along. Of course, next minute they almost run a bunch of freaking crazy people, and the bus is like outside of the road, of course. And so the dad goes out, and the kid goes out, of course. That scene was quite intense because I was like, is Michael Myers gonna freaking come out and murder the kid? Of course, so it happens anyway. And I was like, Jesus Christ, freaking crazy. Of course, Michael Myers shows no mercy in this film, but and stuff like that. And she's got like this house right with these like, and it's cool the way they've done this house where it's got these like these doors that can lock on their own. Like she has this like. It has these like metal doors that come down, and that's fun. I love that scene. I'm thinking that's pretty secure, that house is. And then she underneath the kitchen, it's like a door that goes down. It's a thing that goes down, opens up and it goes down. It's like a secure thing. So, that's cool with guns and stuff. That scene was pretty cool. I did like, like I said, Laurie Strode is pretty badass in this company. And the last bit's pretty intense where she's like trying to find Michael Myers. Her daughter's at the bottom and she's like freaking with a shotgun ready to freaking blow him away. And that scene was quite intense, that last bit was. I did enjoy it a lot. I won't say too much to ruin the story, but we'll have a few people watching. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, okay, right, I'm going to cut this review short like I did before, but now I'm going to cut it short now. And what did I like about it and what didn't I like about it? I do the things what I didn't like about it. Maybe they showed too much of Michael Myers in it, because in certain parts you do see a lot of him. Instead of like, remember the first one where you saw a bit of him, that was it. And you can hear his breathing and stuff like that. That's what they should have done in this film, but you saw too much of him. But still, it kind of works in a way, because it's a few surprises and it does make you jump a few times. What I did like about it, the solid performance from the cast. Laurie Strode's fantastic, and this Jamie Lee Curtis is excellent as Laurie Strode. I did like the Doctor, and I thought he just kind of. He's an interesting character, so he did kind of remind me a bit like freaking Loomis, of course, until later on in the film. And but like I said, he will never be a Loomis because Loomis is a unique character. I love the action scenes. I love the freaking death scenes, and I love the fact that I was jumping a few times in this. It did make me jump a few times in the movie, not like what you expect, like in some certain films where I did. So I like the jump. I love the jump moments, and they did make me jump, and they're quite funny at the same time. They made me laugh. Some of the humour's quite good in it. It's quite funny. Not super funny, but humour's funny. Some of it was funny. But yeah, the way he walks kind of reminds me of the original Michael Myers, and it's pretty cool. Like I say, what I like about it is solid performances. The Michael Myers in it is great, and the death scenes are pretty intense. I'll go to, and some quite intense moments. And a good finale to it. It's like an interesting ending. So an interesting movie. What would I give? Anything promised? I'm going to give it a rating out between 1 and 10. So, I don't know. I was going to give it a 9, but I think it's more of an 8 because it's still a very good film. I really enjoyed it. I'll definitely buy it on 4K Blu-ray or whatever. I could give it 9 another time, but I really enjoyed it. There's nothing about the film that I disliked about it, really. I liked it. I really genuinely enjoyed it. And if you're watching another person's video and they're like slagging off, and my advice is watch it and enjoy it because I enjoyed it. They seem to look. The thing about some people on YouTube, they seem to look into something that's not there in the film, which I don't know. I've noticed certain things about people on YouTube now. I'm just like, don't listen to them either. And so people, 8 out of 10 for freaking Halloween 2018. Really enjoyed it. Solid movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely a good sequel to the. And yeah, what I really should have done is watch the other films first and then watch this one. But I can always, when I get on 4K or Blu-ray or whatever, I'll definitely watch all the films in one. So yeah. So anyway, 8 out of 10 for Halloween 2018. Really enjoyed it. Definitely worth a watch. Any other day I would have given it a 9, but I just had one of those days I'm just like, I don't know, it's just annoying. I'm just annoyed. So anyway, people meant to subscribe to my channel, and you know, if Michael Myers comes knocking, just get the hell out of it and call the police, whatever. Call Laurie Strode. Call Jamie Lee Curtis if you have to. Just go on Twitter and say, how do I get rid of Michael Myers? She'll give you some advice. So anyway, people, have a nice evening, have a nice Halloween, and take care, and have a nice day. See ya.